Welcome to Mrs. Feighery's video number 3 for Chapter 33, The Great Depression and the New Deal. Reform was also a focus of FDR and his New Deal programs. The sprawling electric power industry was one of the focuses of these reforms, and it attracted the fire of many New Deal reformers. New Dealers accused it of gouging the public by charging them excessive rates. Thus, the Tennessee Valley Authority, or the TVA, was created in 1933 and sought to discover exactly how much money it took to produce electricity and then to keep the rates reasonable. It constructed dams on the Tennessee River and helped the 2.5 million extremely poor citizens of the area improve their lives and their conditions. Hydroelectric power of Tennessee would then give rise to more hydroelectric power in the West. Housing reform and the creation of Social Security is also a focus of the New Deal programs. To speed recovery and better homes, FDR set up the Federal Housing Administration, or the FHA, in 1934 to stimulate the building industry through small loans to householders. This is one of the alphabetical agencies that outlasted the age of Roosevelt, and in fact, when my husband and I bought our first home, we took an FHA loan. Congress bolstered the program in 1937 by authorizing the U.S. Housing Authority, the USHA, which was designed to lend money to states or communities to stimulate low-cost construction. This was the first time in American history that slum areas stopped growing. The Social Security Act of 1935 was the greatest victory for New Dealers, since it created pension and insurance for the old age, the blind, and the physically handicapped, delinquent children, and other dependents by taxing employees and employers. Republicans attacked this bitterly as such government knows best programs and policies that were communist leading and penalized the rich for their success. They believed that this was a radical program that communists would consider. They also opposed the pioneer spirit of rugged individualism. There was also a New Deal for labor during this time period, and this was part of New Deal reforms. A rash of walkouts occurred in the summer of 1934, and after the NRA was discontinued, the Wagner Act, which was also called the National Labor Relations Act of 1935, took its place. The Wagner Act guaranteed the right of unions to organize and to collectively bargain with management. This was a very important benefit for labor unions. Under the encouragement of highly sympathetic National Labor Relations Board, unskilled laborers began to organize themselves into effective unions, which was one of which was John L. Lewis, who was the boss of the United Mine Workers and who also succeeded in forming the Committee for Industrial Organization, also known by CIO, within the ranks of the AFL, which is the American Federation of Labor, in 1935. The CIO later left the AFL and won a victory against General Motors. The CIO also won a victory against the United States Steel Company, but smaller steel companies struck back, resulting in such incidences as the Memorial Day Massacre of 1937. This took place at the plant of the Republic Steel Company of South Chicago, in which police fired upon the workers, leaving scores killed or injured. In 1938, the Fair Labor Standards Act, also known as the Wages and Hours Bill, was passed, which set up minimum wage and maximum hour standards and forbade children under the age of 16 from working, and that's why you have to have working papers to be able to become employed when you're in your teens. Roosevelt enjoyed immense support from the labor unions. In 1938, the CIO broke completely with the AFL and renamed itself the Congress of Industrial Organizations, which is called the new CIO. This is the works cited page. All of the images used in this presentation are from the public domain.